Someone say something.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Now, you know that the formula for a straight line, as you have initially learned it, was y equals mx plus c, yes? Now, let's see if I rearrange this a little bit, and I'll have mx minus y plus c equals 0. Yes? This is nothing spectacular, all right? Now I'll put the so I've got mx minus y minus c is equal to 0. And then, so because I've done something to y here, I'll also do mx minus a, which is a number, minus y minus c. And that is also equal to 0. Now let's see what happens. So I've got these sliders here. As you can see, I've got the formula entered at the top. That is, so m, the gradient is 1. I've done a is 0, so that means I haven't done anything to x. Y is also 0. I haven't done anything to y. So if I were to rearrange this, what will I get? Y equals x, because m is 1, c is 0, and I don't have an a here, okay? Which is this bisector here, which goes into bisects quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. All right. Now, let's not play around with the gradient. Let's just see what happens if I subtract, let's say, 2 from x. So minus x minus 2, yeah, has moved the line by 2 to the right, yes? And now I move it back to 0. And now let's see if I do something to y. If I subtract something from y, yes, 2, I subtract, it goes up, okay? So let's write this, x minus 2 moves x minus 2, we said it moves to the right. And y minus 2 moves upwards. Okay? And now let's see what happens if I move x to minus 2, which is plus 2. Yes? It moves. If I move the x plus 2, it moves to the, so x plus 2 moves to the left. And y plus 2 moves downwards. All right, everything clear this far? So this is my, when I want to emphasize the shifts left and right, and this M just changes the gradient. But for the same gradient, yeah, A and C move the graph counterintuitively. So if I subtract something from X, I move it to the right. If I subtract something from Y, I move it up. Okay? Now let's see what happens to the parabola. Let's save this so we don't lose it. Okay? Now, the parabola in vertex form is y equals k x minus a to the power of 2 plus vertical shift. Yeah? Now, if I rearrange this a little bit, I'll have k brackets x minus a to the power of 2 minus y plus b is equal to 0. Now that constant, if I put it in brackets, I'll end up with k x minus a to the power of 2 minus y minus b. Yeah, equals to 0. And that equation I've entered up here. So let's leave k as it is. So if I don't add or subtract anything to x and y, I have the, so when k equals 1 and a equals 0, b equals 0, I'll have k equals 1, a equals 0, b equals 0. I'll have x squared minus y equals to 0, or y, as you know it from before, equals x squared. Yes? Wonderful. Now, if I change the k, that changes the how fat the parabola is, yes, or it inverts it if I have negative case. All right, but let's keep it to 1. And now let's see what happens if I subtract 1 from x, or 2 like before. If I subtract 2, it moves to the right. So x minus 2 moves it to the right. Y minus 2, let's see which way it moves so we don't confuse anything. Y minus 2 moves it up by 2. Yeah, and x plus 2 is going to move it left, and y plus 2 is going to move it downwards, just like before. Guys, we just received a tsunami warning. I don't know if I should, I think I'm in a safe place here, but I don't know about you. We'll probably need to stop here and take care of ourselves All right, guys. I'll just leave this as it is. Only stop the the graphs move counterintuitively. So if I move the x, if I subtract something from the x, it moves right. If I add something to the x, it moves left. If I subtract something from the y, it moves up. If I if I add something to the y, it moves down. All right. Now, I've also got, you haven't learned about, so let's see. Let's say I've got, let's say I've got this circle here, okay? And this is x and this is y. This is x and that is y. And that's my radius. And this point here has coordinates x and y. Now, if I do a right angle triangle here, yes, I can see that that is, so that's the radius, that's the altitude y, and this is x. Yes, the relationship applying Pythagoras is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Okay, and now if I draw a graph of that relationship, okay, so let's say I've got a equals 0, b equals 0, and I've got a circle with a radius of 3. Okay, that's my circle. Now let's see what happens. Like we said, what do you guys think is going to happen if I subtract 1 from x? Anyone? Which way is it gonna move? If I subtract 1, which way is the center of the circle gonna move?
To the right.
Yes. And what will happen if I subtract 1 from y? It's moving up, just like for the line and the parabola. Okay? So when you subtract, let's say x minus 1 moves it right. X plus 1 moves it left. Y minus 1 moves it up, and y plus 1 moves it down. As you can see, it's counterintuitive. Okay? All the moves, if you add, it moves to the x, it moves left. If you subtract, it moves right. If you add to the y, it moves down. If you subtract, it moves up. Okay? And one last one, which I wanted to show you, is the hyperbola. So for hyperbola, we start with y is equal to k over x minus b plus a. All right. If I move that a to the other side, I've got y minus a is equal to k over x minus b. Yeah, and it's the same thing. If I subtract something from the y's, I move up. See how the parabola moves up? If I subtract something from the x, the parabola moves right. Okay. So now that we know all this, let's try and graph those. So first of all, let's try and graph the circle. I want to graph the circle. So let's say I've got x plus, no, minus 2 to the power of 2 plus y plus 1 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. All right, can anyone tell me the radius? First of all, radius is going to be, remember that this guy here is r squared, okay? So r is going to be, what is the value of r going to be? Come on, someone tell me.
2.
2. And now lateral shift. Lateral shift is going to be 2 to which side? Right or left? Lateral shift is going to be 2 to the, come on, I'm waiting, anyone? So we said it's counterintuitive, guys. Again?
Would it be the right?
Yes. And vertical shift?
Is it down?
How much?
1.
1 down. Okay, so that means center is, the coordinates of the center are going to be 2 to the right from 0 is 2 to the right from 0. And the y of the center is going to be, come on guys.
Would it be -1?
-1, yes, thank you. All right, so that means I can sketch it. I can sketch that and say I go 1, 2 to the right and 1 down. That's my center. And the radius is gonna be 2. So I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. So this is going to be something like this. All right. Doesn't really look great in my drawing. Like I said, my drawing skills are not that great, but we can check it. So my equation was again x minus 2 y plus 1. So I've got x minus 2 to the power of 2 plus y plus 1 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. Yeah. And now if I draw it, yeah. So that's my, yes, 2 and minus 1 is the center. I can't center it properly anyway, but you get what I'm saying here. Okay. So that's pretty much all about shifting graphs and equations of circles. All right. Now, I also want to be able to graph this. Okay. So I'll add another table here. Or no, I'll just use this one. Yes, x minus 2 squared, y plus 1 squared equals 4. Remember that you can only enter graphs in the form of y equals something, yeah? So let's see. If I have x minus 2, I'm considering the same circle, squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to is equal to 4. So I've got y plus 1 squared is going to be equal to 4 minus x minus 2 squared. Therefore, y plus 1 is going to be equal to what? Remember that if y squared is equal to 9, y is going to be equal to what? Come on.
Would it be 3?
Just that?
Plus minus 3.
Thank you. So in our case here, y plus 1 is going to be equal to plus or minus square root of 4 minus x minus 2 to the power of 2. And now y is going to be y1. Yeah. I move the 1 to the other side, and I've got negative 1 plus square root of 4 minus x minus 2 to the power of 2. And y2, I've got two functions here, minus 1 minus square root of 4 minus x minus 2 to the power of 2. And now I'll get my calculator out. And I'll go to my graphing. Do I have them in the form of y? So this is the top part of the circle. This is going to be the top part of the circle. And this is the bottom part. Let's emphasize that. This is the top part. Wait. Of the circle. And this is the bottom part of the circle. Yeah. So let's enter those into our graphics calculator. And I've got negative 1 plus square root. When you enter something into a whole expression under a square root sign, you need to open brackets. Otherwise, the square root will just apply to the 4. So I've opened the brackets and the square root is being taken from the whole expression. 4 minus brackets again, x minus 2 to the power of 2, and close the brackets under the square root sign and execute that, and let's see what we've got. We've got the top side of the circle. Yes. Now let's draw the the lower part of the circle, which is going to be negative 1 minus square root of, don't forget to open brackets, 4 minus brackets x minus 2, close brackets to the power of 2, and close the brackets for the square root, execute, and now let's draw. Bang, we've got the whole circle. Are we clear, guys? Any questions about how to do circles? No? All right, now what I want you to do, I'll stop this recording here, and I'll just give you some homework here on the whiteboard. So let's stop this.